Welcome to New This Week for March 30th. We got a small week. We're going to start off with Independence, get some good stuff, some not so good stuff, but let's get down to it. Got Almost American number 5 from Aftershock Comics. Animal Castle number 4. Still a good seller. People enjoying this book. Definitely worth to check out. The book that excites me the most this week, Astro City number 1. Kurt Busiek, Brett Anderson, Alex Ross doing the covers. They have been doing this book for 20, 25 years. They've come back for the first time. I can't remember the last time. It's 5-6 years that they've done an Astro City book. I can't remember when there was one, but I'll always come back to this book. Kurt Busiek is one of my favorite all-time writers. He's written tons of Marvel stuff, DC stuff. He's been around forever. He did Astro City back in the day. He got sick. He had mercury poisoning and lead poisoning at the same time. I think his wife was trying to kill him, but it was never proven. So at that time, the book kind of fell by the wayside. He couldn't really write a lot. He was losing short-term memory. So I'll always come back when he brings this book back. Unlike another person who says, hey, we're going to go on hiatus for a year on a cliffhanger. He goes on hiatus with this book, but it always ends. And then one day you wake up and there's another issue. So this is definitely worth, I haven't read it yet, but to me it's worth checking out. This is if I could only read one issue this week, this is the issue. Source Point Press, Blood on Sunset, number 4. Again, Source Point Press, I say it all the time, one of my favorite independent companies. I'll support them. I'll always support them. This book I'm definitely going to give a look at. Cities of Magic, number 1. Scout, they put out some quality stuff. Cover looks pretty interesting. The artwork inside looks decent, so I'm going to give a look at. And here we go. For all you young adults out there, or maybe adults now, who grew up watching the Saturday morning G.I. Joe, issue number 2. This is a must-read for you guys, because you loved it as a kid. Maybe you'll like it again now. It'd probably be just as stupid as the TV show was, because I did not like the G.I. Joe cartoon. My little brother did. But hey, if you grew up with it, maybe it'll be a little nostalgia for you. If not, you're probably going to think it's silly and let the kids still read it. The Heathens, number 5 from Aftershock. This book has been selling extremely well. And another Source Point Press book, In His Own Image, issue number 2. At issue number 2 of The Killer, Affairs of the State. Mark Miller, issue number 6 of Magic Order. Magic Order, do. This guy just pumps out stuff constantly on a consistent basis, unlike some other people. But yeah, he puts out quality all the time. We got Merlin and Hector, number 3. Haven't read this book. I got no comments on it, but the couple of people who have read it are still picking it up. So, and then Aftershock issue number 5, My Date with Monsters. Chip Zdarsky. Hey, I really need to know how to pronounce his name correctly, because I want to respect him, because he puts out a lot of good stuff. I don't read this book, but this is Newburn number 5, and again, he puts out 2 or 3 books a month, usually always on time too. It's a professional creator. This book looks interesting. I'm bringing it home. It's called Number 1, issue number 1, and it's Comic shop owner isn't a job, it's a calling. And the book looks like it's written by and narrated by a comic shop owner, and what went on in the history, the history of when the direct market started, and what went on in this guy's store. I don't know too much about it. It looks interesting. It's Source Point Press. I'm bringing it home. I'm going to look for a number here before I start. Okay, yep, it's up here. At least it's up here. It's microscopic for the, so the blind will not be able to see it. But it's Radiant Black, number 13. And we've got Rick Remender's Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, number 6. Let's see if he's, we'll take a moment to see if he actually worked in this book. Wow! There are some words in it this time. He's actually going to earn his money for this issue. That's, oh boy. Maybe not. Yep. Must be nice to phone it in. And we've got Rogue Sun, number 2. And this is probably the best heavy metal comic out. I've said it for the last 9 issues. This is number 10. But Savage Circus. Another decent book. Issue number 3 of Shelter Division. Source Point Press. And finally, the book is back. Probably one of the best horror stories on the market. Probably one of the best book on the market. Something is Killing the Children, number 21. It's been on hiatus while he's been writing House of Slaughter, which really isn't that good. Thank God this book is back. Thank you. And we've got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The movie, the movie prequel, or the movie... Yeah, it just says Sonic the Hedgehog 2, so I think it's based on the movie. Spawn number 328. Step by Bloody Step number 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 127. And we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Annual 2022. And that's not issue 2022. It's the year, if you didn't figure that one out. And finishing up the independent is Zombies vs. Robots Classic, number 1. I didn't think that the first time around this was the greatest of all books. The fact that they reprinted it, they want to put it together, I don't know. Didn't see a call for it, but we've got it here. We've got it here if you want it. All right. Now we're going to start with the DC books. And again, it's not all Batman. There's some Batman, but it's not all Batman this week. We're going to start off with Aquaman, number 2. We got Batman Beyond the White Knight by Sean Murphy. The last 2 White Knight books he's done, extremely popular. I think this is going to go right with those. Batman FaZe Clan, number 1. I think this is some YouTube clown, kind of like me. You know, it's some internet to esports guy or something, and I guess he gets to do something with Batman. Who cares? Then we got Batman One Dark Knight, written and drawn by Jock. DC vs. Vampires, number 6. This has been a pretty popular book. And we're going to start off with the Shadow War. Shadow War Alpha, number 1. It's a pretty cool looking cover. Could be a decent crossover. I won't read it, but it could be decent. You guys can tell me. Swamp Thing number 11. It ended at issue 10. It was a 10 of 10 series, but it was so popular, they've made it a 16-issue series now, and this is issue number 11. This is like the second season. War for Earth 3, number 2. And I put this book under W because the Wonder Woman just happens to be the biggest part, but Sensational Wonder Woman Special. That's all we've got from DC today. And, almost had an accident. Let's go with Marvel. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 93. This is the final issue of this run. And next month, John Romita Jr. enters the Spider-Man universe again. Captain Marvel number 37. Dark Ages number 6. Ghost Rider number 2. Now number 1 sold like way beyond what I thought it was going to sell. I reordered it 3 times. We'll see if if people actually liked it or they were just picking it up because it was a number 1. But you know, we've got the 2s in. I think it could be a good book. Now this book, I think is totally disappointing. As a matter of fact, I'm not even reading it now. The great Donny Cates is not so great at writing the Hulk. Hulk number 5 is out. Again, maybe it's my opinion because I am selling a ton of Hulks. I haven't even seen... I was selling a ton of Immortal Hulks, selling a ton of Hulks now. But this is nowhere near as good. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I disliked Hulk as much as I disliked this book. Thanks, Donnie. And then we got Hulk by Grand Design, number 1. Enough said. Iron Fist number 2. Miles Morales number 36. It's actually a really cool cover. I don't read the book, but Silk number 3. And this book has the crappy paper cover that we spoke about last week, and if you've been on the internet at all, that's all everyone's been complaining about is the paper. Not all of these have that, but this particular book has that gross paper. Silver Surfer Rebirth number 3. Probably should have just kept them dead. Series finale of Spider-Woman, issue number 21. It's too bad. This is a decent book. But the fact it made 21 issues in this day and age of where people read things for 3 issues and dump it, it says something. But yeah, this is a good issue. This is a good book. More people should have been reading it. If you still have a chance, I'd recommend just going back and reading it. Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 21. Mike Allred's beautiful art in excellent number 2. It's not like, all his characters look the same. I see Madman here. I see all this stuff. But, hey, there's some Mike Allred fans. Good for you. Now, we have The Immortal X-Men number 1. X-Men's are rebooting. We're going to get more of it. If you're an X fan, can't get any better for you. Well, your wallet's not going to get any lighter because the issue number 1 is a little thicker for $6, and there's 10 covers, I believe, too. I just happen to have a second one here. Don't know why, but it's there. Again, we need to fire the guy who does this thing. And we're going to finish it off with another new X-Men book from the greatest writer of all time. The one that loves to put little symbols in all his books. If you want to read a book with a symbol, you need Jonathan Hickman. And he's got X-Men Unlimited number 1. And there we have it. That's what we've got for this week's books. There's some stuff here that really excites me this week. There's some stuff that I'm not too excited about. But again, to each their own. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.